Good morning. Welcome to the DFS Army YouTube channel. I am Razzle11, and you can find me on Twitter at Razzle11Grinds. I'm going to take a look at the pitching options for today, Saturday the 20th. We have a 9-game day slate on DK with a 4-game main slate, I think they have it listed as. So, some games spread out. Uh, Unfortunately, I don't really know how or that FanDuel has it set up because each site is always totally different on weekends. But we're going to take a look here, mostly on the day slate. I will touch a little bit on the main slate, but since it's 4-gamer, it's not really all that enjoyable to make fade calls or anything, just because you kind of almost have to play everybody in your 150. But yeah, let's take a look. Day slate wise, Logan Webb, obviously against the Marlins at home, uh, throwing the ball pretty well. Didn't really rack up the strikeouts or anything against Arizona. Just 15.6 DK points despite going 7 and allowing just 1 run. Kind of kind of strange there. Ended a streak of 4 straight with 20 plus. Splits wise, better at home. Uh, he pitches to this park. He understands it. Strikeouts are there. Has allowed more home runs per 9 at home, which is a little weird, but did struggle in his one start against Miami. I consider that more of an outlier situation. Um, that was during that 4-game stretch to begin the season where he just wasn't all that sharp. Um, he's definitely looked a lot better since. So Logan Webb for sure is going to be one of my top plays, if not the top play on this slate for me at pitching. Doesn't really have a huge ceiling per se, I guess, for that price, but uh, it's a great spot. So I have no problems going to him. Uh, Scherzer, I'm probably going to just stay off of Scherzer just for a little bit yet. Um, we know Cleveland doesn't really strike out a ton. Scherzer hasn't been racking up strikeouts. He has looked, decent aside from a couple rough starts. But I think there's some weather issues in New York today. Kind of looking at the weather station on the DFS Army website on my other monitor. Right now, we're looking at like an 80% chance of a delay risk. Just a lot going on, so I'm probably just going to be off of Scherzer unless we get great news, in the afternoon. But um, Eflin hasn't looked sharp the last two. Did strike out a bunch, 9 guys against the Yankees, but has allowed 4 runs in each of his last two. Home runs are starting to return after his solid start to the year. I think he's a worthy GPP guy, but at 10K, I don't know that I want to go too heavy on him. Uh, there's definitely upside, but uh, the big thing is also like Hunter Brown right here is 400 cheaper. Hunter Brown is taking on the A's. He's doing so at home. He's doing so as a minus 305 favorite. I mean, not really much else to say about that. Like, he's just a massive favorite. Great spot. K upside. Uh, has given up his first 3 home runs at the major league level, at least this year for sure. But I don't know if he gave any up last year either. But so the home run ball is starting to hit him, but it's Oakland, so I'm not overly worried about it. Extreme ground ball rate as well. He's allowed to throw, 90 to 100 pitches every start. I think he's just a great option at 96, and that's probably why I won't have all that much Eflin um, because Brown's cheaper and in a better spot. Nola, I think I'm going to continue my fade of Nola. For the most part, it's worked out really well looking at the returns. I missed out on an elite type performance against Houston Um, it is what it is. But other than that, I mean, not really anything I'm upset about missing out on. So I think I'm just going to keep my fade up of Aaron Nola. I believe the weather in Philly looks really nice for hitting. Uh, a lot of the games are a little cooler today with temperatures in the 60s, which is, not ideal for the mid to end of May. But yeah, let's go take a look at. I mean, Tanner Bibby's somebody I'm interested in, but like I said, with the weather, um, probably going to have to be off of him. But he has had three really solid starts, two super strong starts as well. So, the Mets offense has been kind of lackluster. So, if you wanted to be on them and the weather was clear, then I would be okay with it. But, you know, one guy that stands out here, John Gray, somebody that I traditionally like to try to fade. Um, but he's thrown the ball extremely well over his last two starts. Gets to take on his former Rockies team. Um, his numbers at home have been pretty bad, which are a little shocking. But because he did get to face like Oakland, Arizona's got a difficult offense, but I like the way he's throwing the ball right now. The Colorado lineup is pretty soft overall, so I think John Gray is a pretty strong option for us. I don't know if I'm going to fall for Ronzi Contreras again or not. I'm probably going to fade him, but I just want to see this guy again. We saw pieces of it last year. Looked great against the Dodgers as well, but like these walks, getting up there, not striking anybody out, um, suddenly allowing a ton of fly balls, not not great trends for us. I look a lot at trends for pitching just to see, because I can't speak directly to them, so I want to figure out, you know, how they're feeling, how their stuff is, and I think, those trends kind of point out things that we might not get from the media, etc. So, taking a look, I'm not really interested in much. Braxton Garrett, intriguing. Uh, Coming off a pretty solid start against Cincinnati, appears to kind of be limited to the 80 to 90 pitches. Uh, but left-handed pitching against the Giants has been really strong this season. Like I said with Webb, maybe I didn't mention it. This game does have the lowest total on this day slate. Looks like it's sitting at about 7.5 right now. Uh, Not a safe guy, but obviously this was against an extremely dangerous Atlanta team, so you kind of take that with a grain of salt. But he's had some solid starts, against Arizona and Cleveland, coming off a great start. I think we could do worse than trying to sneak in some shares of Braxton Garrett. Brandon Pfaadt finally having his best start at the major league level, still gave up a home run, a few walk issues. The talent's there for 5,400, so I'm intrigued. But after what I saw Pittsburgh be able to do to my boy Zach Gallen yesterday, I might have to pump the brakes a little bit. But I think he's worthy of adding to our pitcher pool on this slate. So if we're trying to create a pool, we're looking at what Webb, Eflin, Brown, John Gray, Braxton Garrett, and Fott. It's not too big of a pool. And then obviously if we get weather updates that are to our liking, Scherzer and Bibby, which might have us eliminate Fott down at the bottom. But that's kind of the rough pool that I have right now. We're going to look at this four-game main slate. Potential weather here in St. Louis again. That's a little worrisome. I believe Atlanta's should be good to go. Yeah, I'm not really seeing anything from our end. Uh, but Oh, now it updated. So yeah, there is some weather with Atlanta. St. Louis is good to go. Um, Looks like right now we have it around a 35% PPD risk. So that's a little worrisome. So that kind of might take out Logan Gilbert, even though it's a tough matchup. Uh, he does have the upside and the ability, but it's an extremely tough matchup. So I'm not sure I really want to go there. Uh, Varland is definitely an option. Strikeouts have been solid. There are some strikeouts in the Angels lineup. I'm sure he's gonna, Trout will be back, so it's not gonna be as weak of a lineup as Ryan got to see last night. Chris Sale's going to be an option for me. It's been alternating strong starts, but K numbers have been back up. 24 plus DK points in four of his last five starts. San Diego has been struggling, unfortunately for them. And then Machado went on the IL, one of their better hitters against left-handed pitching. And in that same game, Joe Musgrove has not looked great. We can eliminate this game, this one that happened in Mexico City. Um, I think that's something that shouldn't really be used against him at all. So when we look at the other starts, so solid and then not very good, but he is favored in this game. And I believe this one has the lowest total on the evening slate at 8. Not really saying much, I think. Yeah. Even the Twins Angels have a higher total, but I think Musgrove is a solid option, even though Boston has plenty of left-handed hitters. Sandoval, certainly an option. We just saw Reed Detmer strike out what seemed like 100 last night against the Twins. Not quite the same type of pitcher, but is a left-handed pitcher. Can take advantage of the Twins. Great price point, 7K. Probably going to be one of my favorite SPs on this slate. And that's really it for me on this one. We can't really use Chavez. I mean, I guess you could, but I don't know why you want to unless we really needed the money. But you can't get the W. If we find out who the projected long man is, maybe that opens up. But right now we don't have one of those. Uh, Syndergaard, not really somebody I want to rely on all that much. Left with a lacerated finger, returning only through 59 pitches, which I kind of assumed and predicted within the chat. Um, might get into the 70s today, but I don't really want to use a pitcher against St. Louis right now, especially somebody who's not a top tier pitcher. Mikolas, do we really want to use him against the Dodgers? I don't really want to. Uh, Numbers at home are atrocious this year, so uh, feel pretty confident in eliminating those two, and certainly can eliminate, most likely the two guys in the Atlanta game. Gives us four names to use, you know, throughout our MME, which that's just why I love cutting down pitching because then it allows us to be able to get the right pitchers attached to all of our top stacks, giving us better shots at W's. So there we have it. A little longer video, but if you like what I bring to you, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, turn the notification bell on, get notifications anytime we drop videos here at DFS Army. If you want to join us and check out our tools, join us in chat. I'll put links in the description below. Use promo code RAZ, that's RAZ, for 10% off your monthly membership. And as always, best of luck, everybody.